Yo, 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 what's up, YouTubers? This is your guy, Mr. Evaluator. And what I'm going to be doing, I am going to be debunking this topic that they're having a discussion about in Comic Vine, how they think that Marvel's multiverse is not infinite, okay? And this noob logic of them arguing that, Marvel's multiverse isn't infinite because they have a bigger infinite reality that is bigger than the Marvel's multiverse infinite reality. So this is the argument they're using to kind of disprove that Marvel's multiverse isn't infinite, which is stupid, by the way, because as shown in the Doctor Strange What If series, that there was multiple different Doctor Strange from different timelines who were making different decisions that basically branched off and created a whole new timeline in that multiverse sequence. This even basically proves the reason why it's infinite, because it's literally ongoing. The reason Doctor Strange went back in time to try to prevent his wife dying, there's another version in that parallel of universe that Doctor Strange wind up stopping his wife from dying and him wind up getting killed because of that. And she becomes his wife winds up becoming the supreme sorcerer. So in this case, this is where another off branch timeline where, Doctor Strange doesn't just decides to go back in time. And really, with all that being said and done, with that shown in the What If Marvel series, creating a alternative timeline, another timeline within the multiverse sequence. There is no limitations to Marvel's multiverse. Just because that there's a bigger infinite reality, it doesn't mean that Marvel's multiverse isn't infinite. Right here this is just noob talk. This is just people that don't understand the concepts or any of the logic that was written or even put down on the panel by the authors. This is just basically comic book noobs that just read something they don't understand and they want to debunk it with the illogical argument. I mean, because you don't understand infinity, pretty much like the noob tearing power scaling map, whatever thing you want to call it, because they say that there are characters that are zero boundless and that's the lowest that they could go, when we actually have characters in fiction that is more boundless than the noob tearing system. And I've debunked that so many times. They talk about the 3D scaling, the 4-dimensional scaling. I mean, it's all nonsensical. But over here, these guys are using a ignorant argument because they think that, because there's a bigger infinite universe, Marvel's multiverse isn't infinite. Well, that's because they don't understand how Marvel basically works. So I'm just gonna also tie this into I'm gonna really be talking about Pennywise. Can Pennywise actually destroy the infinite Marvel multiverse? Even though Beyond the Pre-Recon said that it's like a drop of water, this is basically how Marvel really works. So literally, it's almost like that the entire verse of Marvel has like precog, because anything that happens within the multiverse, it already happened. Like when we actually see Doctor Strange going back in time in another parallel universe, in that timeline, within that multiverse, he's already did that. So under that concept of it happening, that mean, like, if Pennywise was going to consume the entire multiverse of Marvel, that mean he either already did it in another timeline of that existing multiverse, while on the other hand, there's another infinite Marvel multiverse that he hasn't consumed. So by the time, he get to that old multiverse, there's another Marvel universe that had already been existing. So this is the reason why, like, the infinite Marvel multiverse cannot, easily be destroyed or easily be consumed, because whenever the infinite multiverse is being destroyed, let's just say for an example, pre-retcon Beyonder is going to destroy the entire Marvel multiverse. Well, in another branching infinite multiverse, he's already did that. In another branching multiverse, he didn't succeed in doing that. They send Captain America to fight him with the Infinity Gauntlet. So yeah, it's a lot of stuff, but clearly, and then they're gonna talk about, the white void. Let me see. They brought up this guy. I don't know who he is, but let me see. There is an infinite white void outside of the multi eternity. So yeah, I guess this guy's eternity, whoever he is, he took on the embodiment of the entire multiverse of Marvel, but outside of him was a white void. What they're saying, it was a white void that was outside of him after he took on the embodiment of it. So they're saying that because that's a bigger infinity, Marvel is not infinite. I mean, this is just really stupid, and it's dumb because they're not getting the ideal of Marvel's concept of infinity. Because there's bigger infinite multiverses out there, it doesn't mean that that multiverse isn't infinite. I mean, that's stupid. But anyways, yeah, Marvel's infinite multiverse cannot easily be destroyed. It just can't, because by the time you get to it, another multiverse had already came. In this concept, if Pennywise was going to step toward the infinite multiverse of Marvel, and just having the thought of destroying the infinite multiverse of Marvel, the other Marvel verse has already been created. It's already been created. And actually, he will probably even be destroying the infinite multiverse of a weak Marvel. Marvel has the accessibility to do this, and this is why they make different parallels. They make different parallel accounts in Marvel, which is why there is another version, as we saw in the comic, where that version of Deadpool killed everybody at Marvel. Yeah, that version of Deadpool killed everybody at Marvel, but we have another version of that Deadpool who basically beat that Deadpool with no problem. So this basically even proves that in this universe, Marvel does have a parallel infinite universe inside their entire infinite multiverse. So this is just insanely huge. This is insanely big. I mean, even though that, they don't have a reality like DC, their reality, in other words, is like already created. Their reality sees things before they actually happen. This is clearly bigger than Stephen King's universe. This is bigger than his verse. Like, if Goku was going to come to Marvel and just like destroy all of Marvel, Marvel already sees all of that. They already see it. It already happens in that universe. So if this infinite Marvel multiverse is being destroyed, there's already another version of the infinite multiverse of Marvel. So in this case, Marvel keeps on going, and it goes and it goes and it goes. It's like a never-ending cycle. And in this case, if Trigon was going to, as boundless as he is, if Trigon was going to corrupt Marvel and take out all of Marvel, then it's going to take him a very long time to do that, because Marvel has he can corrupt creation, right? So the thing about it is, when he does this, Marvel already sees Trigon. They already see Trigon. So he does this to that universe, and he does that to that infinite universe. And there's another universe that is created that Trigon is not aware about. And that's how good Marvel basically is. They create other different branching timelines like they do in the multiverse, they actually even create different infinite multiverses within that infinite multiverse because of the different occasions that actually happen. Now, the question is, who's literally controlling all this? I have no idea. Perhaps it might be the one above all, because we have where Toba Hulk becomes the devil. Yeah, Devil Hulk. He destroys everybody in the MCU in that universe. So that's just another branching timeline for that universe. And all of Marvel Comics and the What If series and the What If, it's all canon to the MCU. It's all canon to it, unless you guys want to talk and say it's not canon. But yeah, that's how Marvel's Infinite Multiverse works. It's already created, and like prime example, if I'm gonna walk to your house and throw a brick through your window, it already happened in another universe. It already happened in another universe. So just by stepping with that intention to the Marvel universe, another timeline has automatically been created where I don't destroy or bust a brick through your window. That's clearly how Marvel basically works. And that's kind of impressive. Like, I did not know anything about this until I started understanding how the infinite multiversal timeline basically works throughout Marvel. It's just basically infinite. This alone will actually confuse Barry Allen. This right here, and Barry Allen runs through time like it's nothing. And I'm just telling you about his character. Barry Allen has been through situations where that has confused him. But Barry Allen has never ran through, had got himself in a situation to where he had to run through infinite timelines. If he has ran through infinite timelines in any of the comics, please drop the comic issue so that I can look and review for further for like further future references. But right here, these guys don't know what they're talking about. So let me show you What If Marvel, Doctor Strange. Hold on, let me go to, let me see. Actually, what if Doctor Strange? Alrighty. What if Doctor Strange? Yeah. Sorry, I gotta put a blockage on here, man. Personal information. Been searching up, man. I don't want nobody to see. Okay, here we go. All right, so for those of you who haven't seen it, I'm gonna go ahead and explain it to you. So clearly, come on, dude, you are tripping. So clearly this is the Doctor Strange that absorbed all the magic from the different realms. He'd been going throughout timelines. So in another parallel infinite multiverse in a timeline, this is where that Doctor Strange did not decide to go back and get his wife. Instead, this is no. That was another timeline that Doctor Strange didn't do that. But this Doctor Strange went back in time to kind of save his wife, go through all of that. And, at the end of the story, this is where he asked the Watcher to help him after he became a demon. She was terrified of him. Everything became destroyed, and the Watcher didn't, refuse to help him. So, I encourage you guys to watch that episode. I think it was season 4, episode 4 of the What If series. Not sure, but yeah, this is where he does that. And he fights other Doctor Strange and absorbs all the power, and that's when he becomes the demon. Yeah, so, clearly that's all what happened, but that's the point of my video. Marvel does have a infinite multiverse. It does. And because every time something happens within the infinite multiverse, somebody like Wanda, Scarlet Witch does something, or Doctor Strange does something, they create a branching timeline. Now, there's this thing with Thanos that's called in Marvel multiversal constants, where something in that infinite multiverse stays the same and never changes. So, prime example, let's just say that Thanos is naturally a villain. Okay, he's naturally a bad guy. That's his nature, and that's what you call multiversal constants. So it doesn't matter how many timelines you go through, which universe you go through, you go one from another parallel universe to a different parallel universe, you go through anywhere you want to go to, Thanos is going to stay the same. He's going to have the same intentions. He's going to have the same, the same ideas, the same every single thing, point blank and period. No matter which universe you go through, Thanos is going to stay the same because that's his nature. And according, like I said, to the Marvel universe, that is what you call a multiversal constant, where it doesn't matter what universe or parallel reality you go to, that individual character or being is going to stay the same because that is the nature of that being. No matter what reality you go to, that being is going to stay the same. Now, once again, if Thanos was going to do something in the Marvel universe, then we have in another branching multiversal timeline that was created by that Thanos because of that action, where that Thanos literally basically doesn't do any of that, but instead just winds up destroying planets and other universes. Okay, but he still has the same intentions. All Thanoses from all different timelines, parallel universes, they all have the same intentions because it's their nature and they are all the same. So, have any questions or comments? Leave them below. I will be uploading another video, part 2. Evaluator out.